Okay, so we are going to work through the June 2022 2HR paper, and I hope this is useful. So, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto triangle B. Fairly clearly it's an enlargement, A onto B. So with an enlargement, what we do is we join up the corresponding points and we continue that line on. And so join that one on, and I think kind of actually, if you do this on yours, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I think it's easier than it is on my screen. They all meet at this point there, at the point 3, 0. So that becomes the centre of enlargement. So it's an enlargement and the scale factor is how many times bigger. So it's 3 times bigger. It was 1, it's now 3. So scale factor 3, and we need to give the centre 3, 0. So there we go. On the above grid, translate A by the vector -4, 3. So -4, 3. We'll go horizontal first. So -4 takes it this way. 1, 2. So from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 up. So 1, 2, 3, and we just move it. We keep it exactly the same. Oh, that's really badly drawn, but you get the idea. Says, yeah. So we just get it there, and then it says label the triangle C. So we'll just put a C in there. Okay. Next. Write 1,200 as a product of prime factors. Show you're working clearly. So I like this method. 12 and 100, 10 and 10, 2 and 5, 2 and 5, and this becomes 2 and 6 and 2 and 3, and these are all then prime numbers. You can do it in any order you like. So this is then 2 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the power 4 times 3 times 5 squared. And you can just check on your calculator that gives the right answer. Okay. Alberto, Bill, Candela and Diana are 4 friends. Here is some information about the heights of the friends. The median height of these 5 friends is 160. The range is 21. Work out Candela's height and Diana's height. So we've got a 158 and we've got a 175. So we know that if the median is 160, there's got to be another one in here. And the range is 21, means that if these the median is going to be there, therefore there needs to be another one here. And Candida's height is greater than, so this is Candida and this is Diana. So then to get the median to be 160, this needs to be 162, and then the median would be 160. And for the range to be 21, this there to there needs to be 21, so this will be 1, take 21 away, 5, 4. So that means Diana's is 154 and Candida is 162. There we go. Number 4. List the members of the set of A intersection B. So these are things that are in the universal set, so they've got to be in here, this is everything, but they've also got to be multiples of 3 and odd numbers. So multiples of 3 that are odd numbers, 3, not 6. In fact 3 is not in there, so I can't give that one. 9, not 12, 15, not 18, and then there's not 21. Okay, the union of A union B means all the odd numbers and all the multiples of 3 and all the things that are both. So that's a longer list. 9, 10 isn't, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 18, 19. There we go. Is it true that 24 is in A? No. Because 24 is not in the universal set. Set C has 4 members such that C intersection B dashed is 10, 18. So this is C. This is B dashed. B is odd numbers. And C intersection B dashed is this. So this is 10 and 18. List the members of one possible set of C. So as long as these two things, so we could have 9 and 11, and then these would be all the other bits. So C could be 9, 10, 11 and 18, but it could equally be anything else. These two could literally, the 9 and 11 could be anything that is in B, as long as it's in the universal set. Okay. Diagram shows a square with semicircles around it as shown in the diagram. The square's area 36, calculate the total area of its shape. So the area is 36, which means that each side length is going to be 6. And we want the area, so total area, so that is going to be 3. there, and we've got two circles. So we've got pi times r squared, that's one circle, times by 2, plus the square in the middle, which is 36. Crest to one decimal place, so I'm going to use the pi symbol on my calculator. Pi times 3 squared times 2 plus 36 is going to be 92.54866, which to one decimal place is 92.5 centimetres squared. Question 6. Show clear algebraic working, solve the following. So we're going to multiply up by 10, so we get 10p equals 3p minus 5. That's multiplying both sides by 10. Take 3p off both sides, so I get 7p equals minus 5. Divide by 7, p equals minus 5 over 7. Can put that as a decimal, but fraction is much nicer. Simplify a to the 0, where a is bigger than 0. Anything to the 0 is 1. Simplify fully this. Well, let's do the numbers first. That's going to be 2. X squared, that's just going to be 1 on the bottom, and that's going to be 2 on the top. So on the top we've just got y squared, and on the bottom we've got 2x. Factorise, fully factorise, so I need to take as much as I can. So I can take a 5 outside, I can take a c outside, and a d squared outside, and I get left with a 2 and a c squared, no d's, plus a 3 and a d squared. And that's as much as I can do to factorise that. Okay. Find an expression for x in terms of k and n. So we've got to put everything in the same power, so let's put it in the powers of 2. So we've got 2 to the k over 2 squared to the n equals 2 to the x. So we then know that this is 2 to the k over 2 to the 2n equals 2 to the x, and we know that there we just subtract, so we get 2 to the k minus 2n equals 2 to the x. So find the expression for x in terms of k and n, so we know that if those are true, then x must just equal k minus 2n. Cinema ticket increased the cost of an adult ticket by 12%. After the increase, the cost of the adult ticket was £8.20. So something, when we increase it by 12%, so the neatest way to do this is when we multiply it by 1.12, we get 18.20. So we don't know what the original cost was, but when we increase it by 12%, i.e. multiply it by 1.2, we get £18.20. So x equals £18.20 divided by 1.12 is 16.2. That is the cost of the increase, the cost of the adult ticket before the increase. The table gives the information about population to two significant figures. Write 8.8 times 10 to the 6 is an ordinary number, so 8. Let's just check. 8.8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Which of these cities has the least population? Well, the other ones are 10 to the 7s are all bigger, so we need to look at the 10 to the 6s and go which is smaller. So that's Barcelona has the smallest 10 to the 6. Work out the difference in population of Tokyo and Ahmedabad. Not good pronunciation. Okay, easiest way is just to put this into your calculator. 3.7 times 10 to the power 7 minus 7.7 times 10 power 6. So the calculator gives 293,000,000, which in standard form is 2.93 times 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Okay, row 1 done. Diagram shows the triangle ABP inside the regular hexagon ABCDEF. AB is 5, so that means that all of these are 5. PAF, we would work out that angle. B is 90, BP is 2. Okay, so if that is 2, I know that this is a hexagon, and I know that the exterior angle of a hexagon, because they're all equal, is 360. So the exterior angle of a hexagon equals 360 over 6, which is 60 degrees. So I know this must be 60 degrees. I've then got this triangle here to be able to work out this one. So angle PAB, let's call that X. So I know that I've got the opposite and the adjacent, so I know that the tan X equals 2 over 5. So I know that X is tan to the minus 1, 2 over 5. Which is 21.8 degrees. So I know that PAF is 180 minus those 2. Is 98.2 to 3 significant figures. Okay, question 11. Cumulative frequency table shows the information about the ages of 60 people who went to the gym on Saturday. on the grid, draw a cumulative frequency graph. Now they have already given me the cumulative frequencies, so we just need to remember to plot these at the upper limit. So 20 we plot 13, 30 we plot 36, 40 we plot 42, 50 we plot 47, 60 we plot 52, 70 we plot 56, 80 we want 60. There we go. And 0, there are nobody less than 10. Okay, and then we join that. There. Okay, use your graph to earn an estimate of the median. So the median is the middle person. So there are 60 people, so we want the 30th person. So I make that kind of 28. And actually you get given anywhere from 26 to 28. Use graph to find the interquartile range of these people. So the interquartile range is the lower quartile, so that's 15. So I mean that's 21. And the upper quartile is 45, so that's 45. So the interquartile range is 45 minus 21, which is 24. And as long as you're in the ballpark 24 to 28, you've done the right thing, then you get the marks. Use a graph to estimate the number of people who are older than 55. So 55 is here. Oh. So how many people are older than that? That's people this side. So it's people up here. So there are 10 people on average. And again, you could have 10 or 11. Depending on how you graphed it, but I think that's pretty clearly 10. Okay. Question 12. AC, BCD are straight lines. AB is parallel to DE. Work out the value of x. Okay, so we know here that we've created two triangles that are similar, because we know this one is, this angle is equal to this one is equal to this one, and this one is equal to this one. So we've got similar triangles, which means that one is an enlargement of the other, but it's sort of flipped. So if we do 6 divided by 1.2, that's the enlargement factor, and that must be the same as 2x plus 9 divided by 2x. And then we just rearrange this. So 6 divided by 1.2 is 5. So we've got 5 equals 2x plus 9 over 2x. Multiply it by 2x and we get 10x equals 2x plus 9. Take away 2x, we get 8x equals 9. Divide by 8, we get x is 9 over 8, which equals 1.125 if we want to do it as a decimal, or as a fraction, 9 over 8. Okay, question 13. The diagram shows sector of a circle with centre O, angle, that is 67, calculate the perimeter of the sector, give your answer to 3 significant figures. Well, the whole circle is 2 pi or pi d, so pi times the diameter, which is 10.4, but we want a fraction of it times 67 out of 360, and then we're going to add on the 2 radii, which is 5.2 plus 5.2, because we want the perimeter, we want the whole bit, we want there, there, and then the curved bit. So if I add that all together, pi times 10.4 times 67 over 360 plus is 16, well, it's 16.4807, so to 3 significant figures, that's 16.5. Okay, question 14. Chiara throws 4 fair-sided dice. The faces on the dice are labelled with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Work out the probability at least one of the dice lands on an even number. So I think probably the easiest way, at least one of the dice, is 1 minus the probability that no dice are even. So the probability that they're all odd. So that's 1 minus, to be odd, is 1, 2, 3 out of 6. But it's all 4 of them. So times by 4. So 1 minus, so that's 0.9375, or 15 out of 16. It's not the only way you could do it. You could have a tree diagram, have odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, then do odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, and then odd, even, 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 odd, even. So probably at least one of the dice lands on the even is all of these, and all of these kind of a half, a half, a half, a half. So this one is your 1 out of 16. So all of these added together is 15 out of 16. Yeah, that gives you a picture as to how to do it as well. Okay, question 15. calculate the area of the kite. So we split it into two triangles. We've got 2 times, that is half times A times B times sine of the angle between. So just from the formula on the formula sheet, so that's going to be 58.2745, which is 58.3. There we go. Here are 9 graphs. Complete graph which should represent the equation y equals minus 2x plus 3. So we know that must be a straight line, so it's either going to be C or G. And the minus 2x, they're both negative gradient, which they both are, plus 3 means it crosses the y-axis at positive 3. So that must be graph C. So when x is 0, let's just check it out. When x is 0, y is 3. Yeah, so that's that one. Okay, y equals minus 1 over x. So first thing, try doing, putting 0 in. Put 0 in, 1 over 0, maths error. Okay, so it doesn't have a value when x is 0. So that can only be graph B, F or I. And then my suggestion would be you put a really big number in, or just something like 10. So and you get y is minus 1 over 10. So that's minus 0.1. So when x is 10, y is a small thing. So that is minus a small thing. So the only graph that could be is graph F, because all the others are positive. Okay. And then y equals tan x. Well, you kind of need to know these shapes. D is tan x. It repeats itself. Like that, you can put in 0. Tan of 0 is 0. It goes like that, and then this last one, when x is, so this crosses the x-axis in 3 places, minus 1, plus 1 and plus 2. So the only one that's true of is graph H. Okay, use algebra to show this. So we know that x is 0.3454545. Now, the way I would do this is you get 10x is 3.454545, etc. Which means, and then I want to match up the decimal again, so I'm going to have to multiply this by 100. So I'm going to get 1000 x is 345.454545, and the reason that's useful is because then when I subtract them the decimals disappear. So I now get 990x equals 345 minus 3, so that's 342, and all the recurring decimals go away. So x equals 342 divided by 990, which if I cancel that down, comes to 19 over 55. There you go. Okay, Kaiden and Sonia went on 2 different car journeys. Kaiden's journey was distance 80 kilometres, correct in nearest 5 kilometres, 2.7 hours, correct to 1 decimal place. Kaiden says, my average speed could have been greater than Sonia's average speed by considering bounds show that Kaiden is correct. So, the greatest Kaiden could have been, so the maximum for Kaiden is the speed is distance over time. So we want the maximum distance, so it could have been 85, over the minimum time, so that could be 2.65, because that's correct to 1 decimal place. So then that's the maximum Kaiden is 32.07, and the minimum for Sonia is 33 to 2 significant figures, so minimum we want is 32.5, and the maximum here is 1.05. So 32.5 divided by 1.05 is 30.95. Actually, this max is 82.5. So sorry, that's 82.5 divided by 2.65 is actually 31.13, but still max. Therefore Kaiden could be bigger. Therefore Kaiden could be greater speed. Okay. Okay. F of g of x. So we're doing f of g of x. So f of 2x plus 1. So that means we've got 2x plus 1 squared minus 4 has got to be greater than 0. So, given that it's already completed the square form, let's go 2x plus 1 squared has got to be greater than 4. So if it's equal to, let's just do 2x squared, 2x plus 1 squared is equal to 4. And then we know that 2x plus 1 equals plus or minus 2, which means 2x equals, take away 1, is minus 3 or 1, which means x is minus 3 over 2 and a half. And we've then got to work out when it is bigger than 4. So we want big negative number or a big positive number. So we want x to be less than minus 3 over 2 for x is bigger than a half. Because we want it to be bigger than 4. Okay, the centre of the circle has coordinates that. A is the point on the circle, has coordinates that. OP is the diameter of the circle. Find the equation of the tangent to the circle at the point P. Okay, so O is the centre, that's the point 4, 7. This is the point A. That's the point 6, 11. So P is the point over here, because this is the diameter. So we've gone the same distance the other way, so we can do this just by subtraction. So that's going to be 2, 3. That's the point P. And we want the equation of the tangent. So we can do the gradient of OP equals the rise, which is 4, over the run, which is 2. So the gradient is 2. So the gradient of the tangent is perpendicular to that. Gradient of the tangent, which means it's minus 1 over 2. So we've got a graph y equals minus 1 over 2x plus c. We now sub in the point, which is 2, 3. So 3 is minus 1 over 2 times 2 plus c. 3 equals, it's going to be minus 1 plus c. C equals 4. Which means our equation is y equals minus 1 over 2x plus 4. Solve these simultaneous equations. So substitution is definitely the way to go when we've got a quadratic and a linear. So we rearrange one of them to get x equals, we then sub that into the other one, so we're going to get 3 plus 2y squared minus y squared plus 2 times 3 plus 2y equals 10. Multiply this out, we get 9 plus 6y plus 6y, so that's 12y plus 4y squared minus y squared plus 6 plus 4y equals 10. So we've got 3y squared plus 16 and another y plus 20y. No, I was right the first time. 16y plus 15 minus 10 plus 5 equals 0. Yep, and then we've got to solve that. So we either factorise it or we put it in the formula. So y equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over c, and that gives us a y value of minus a third and minus 5. Which means we can sub that into x, and we get x is 7 over 3 and minus minus 7. And we should probably put those as coordinates. So let's just solve the simultaneous equation. So, well, they go together. So when x is minus 7 over 3, y equals minus a third. And when x equals minus 7, y equals minus 5. There we go. Okay, I'm going to need to pause there. And then I'll pick this up in a little bit.